Good evening. How are you? I don't know where to begin. It's just. Well, I do. You got to begin somewhere. Begin at the beginning. Clara's video about Breary's interview with Judith Moritz. I mean, it's brilliant analysis, great analysis, really right down to tenses and word choice, breakages, breaking of sense, constantly missing out, pronouns. In other words, there's abstract ideas like reviews did things, reviews achieved things, not me, not me directing it, Breary, and so much more there. Lack of ownership, lack of accountability, which is just, well, it's great to see it pointed out in the language, line by line. What it mirrors is just everything. It mirrors everything. A total lack of accountability. That's what it all is. That's what it all is. Just made a cup of tea anyway. Oh, that's a big cup of tea. I watched Callie's video about a lot to do with geometria and numbers and the codes and the different numbers they use with a lot of things. I mean, and I'm a bit like when I've just always felt it. There's something incredibly. It's not just well, you could look at it in a certain framing and say it's just like, these people, like sometimes people call Cheshire Police Keystone Cops, like, but they're not really. It's much. I don't think they are. I mean, yes, you could frame them like that. But Keystone Cops, obviously, it's a fiction and it's a satire and it's a kind of like what's the word? It's something taken to an extreme for humour and clownishness. But there's no real clownishness there. It's not really clowning. But then what is clowning? I don't even know what clowning actually is. Yeah, so back to geometria and related matters of the occult. Now, whether every element of it or any element of it is, or to what degree we could consider it occulted or planned for certain effects and certain wider effects, well, I'm open to it all, potentially. Even if superficially it isn't that, but it is that underneath, because that's what's happening to us as a society, as a so-called society or so-called civilization, that we're just down to surfaces now, so that you can have surfaces and budgets and people with titles and qualifications coming up the yin yang, but it's all just unreal or largely unreal, or now and again it's congruent with what you might consider reality to a degree, 70%, 60%. But the point is, I think, for me anyway, is that, just all my opinions, obviously, just opinion. The point is, it can go down to 0%, 0% congruence with reality and still work. And the system won't reject it and go, hold on, we can't be doing this. We can't be being like this. We can't be interacting like this. We can't be acting as though this is right, justified, real. It's the unreality. I keep thinking back to what Mr. Letby said in the one interview that they've done, where he says it's as though Detective Hughes hates us. And that really pierced me in some way. It's the idea that he's just looking for, well, there's got to be some personal animus here, because you wouldn't behave like that. It's like he's trying to think, well, why are they behaving like this? And that is an echo, and I'm just thinking of it now, of what Lucy Letby herself was saying. Why do they hate me? Why do the consultants hate me, those particular two, or however many that she was referring to? Why do they hate me? And I'm not a Christian, but I'm interested in the texts and the ideas there expressed, some of them I don't find as helpful as others. Jesus is meant to have said, I forget which gospel, but maybe it comes up in several of them, more than one. He said, well, they hated me without a reason. But there is a reason. There are reasons. Not justified reasons, not good reasons, nothing to do with the good or the pure or the honest or the real. But in the total evasive, creepy, uncanny valley nature of breweries floating weird in and out, not really connecting with the experience, weak storytelling mode that he kind of moves in and out of and gets wrong, and it's just not right. It's just nothing, there's nothing tangible there, but it's just like it's meant to make you go, oh yeah, was that how it was? Yeah, that makes sense, because she's in prison now, and yeah, that's the story. And then you got the award, didn't you? You and your mate you shared the office with. Yeah, you're the whistleblowers. Yeah, you're the men that they ignored, and you were just so desperate to get it across what was going on, and just couldn't do it because nobody had sent you on a course to be able to do it, and none of it's real, though, is it? None of it's real. The unreality of Gibbs sort of going leakage, the grin, the smirk. Oh, there's a tiny guilt. There's a tiny guilt. What is it? I don't know what these people are. The uncanny valley sense that they're not, well, they're flesh and blood, but what are they? Can't relate to them as human entities, actually. Can't relate to Dr. Susan Oliver as a human entity. It's something very, very weird. It's something other. Maybe it's a type of human being. I don't know what it is. Well, hello! I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I just don't know what it is. And people probably think I'm weird, but so be it. But I don't. This is my video talking about my opinions and impressions. I don't know what the fuck that is. Hello! And then this thing about it's not to do with voice or accent. It's everything. It's everything. It's all of it. It's all of it. And it's, what's his face? Snowden. With the shirt and the leaning back, and they're doing this thing on this vile, what do they call that show? Then they were just up on Twitter a minute ago asking, do you want to ask them any questions? They put a tweet out saying, would you like to ask Chris, do you want to ask Chris Snowden any questions about life? Do you want to ask Tom Slater any questions about life? Because they know. Yeah, we did a segment and we just sat there, and then Tom Slater was there like some kind of head boy at a minor public school with drooping a bottle of ale as they were talking in what they called, quote unquote, Letby Corner. Like it's a parlour game for these. I could go on with the swearing things, but it's just not enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. There's such an absence there. And if that's a species of evil in a way, that's a species, it's a texture of evil by what's there and by what's not there. it's a game. It's the game of it all for them. It's the game, and the game of the judge, and then the judge gets a job. He gets a better job, and oh, I think you served justice very well, Mr. Goss. I shall give you this job, and no doubt, well, you're a sir anyway. You're a sir. I'll give you like something else. What we'll do for you is we won't mention some of the stuff that we know. I don't know that, but would you be surprised? No, 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 no surprises. And you can feel as though you're going mad when you're looking at it, but it's ugly though. It's really, really. Sometimes the abyss doesn't look like the abyss. It just looks like quite clean surfaces with people making statements that are very self-assured and like they're hard formica type unreal surfaces. There's no grain there. It's not, and it's a color you can't quite work out. And that's the kind of stuff that comes through these official statements. They're meant that it's in a language, and in language choices, and in rhythms, and encoded with blankness. Encoded with blankness that shuts you out, shuts out the human heart, shuts out the mind, the fancy, the imagination, shuts out intuition, because it hasn't got any of those qualities that can engage on those levels. It can't meet you there. It can't meet you there. And so that's it. That's where we are. That's where we are with so much of it. And now and again, oh well, it seems to be working all right. But it can just do anything. It can be anything, do anything. It can just be this monster that it is, and then go, well, oh, we've really got to spend about the next 12 years trying to work out whether we might got this one wrong. They know it all. It's all pretense. It's layer upon layer upon layer of pretense. One can only conclude that it's staffed by, totally peopled by people by people who need people by people who are totally in the world of surfaces and pretense. I mean, maybe they're not in their private lives, but when they put on that wig, or they put on that uniform that Chief Constable Roberts is wearing in one of his outfits, and I've really made it. I've really made it. Yeah. I'm in this position because I know what I'm doing. Yeah, and I do, because I got the message about what it is I need to do in order to be here, in order to get here. So are they deeply entrenched in the world of the occult? Some of them to some degree, or to a large degree, or some of them to a full degree. I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, sorry. That's why when I did the Cabal video, I was very disturbed, more than normal. Disturbed doing it, because I think it's there. It's there. The same way that you would be disturbed, I think. You go back in time and start attending some of these witch trials, and you see some poor individual dragged on there by these big muscular beetle characters, people that were there before the formal police force, before old Peel. Drag this poor individual there who's in a cowl or something, and then and the townsfolk going, or whatever they were doing. Maybe they were doing something like that. But maybe there were people among their number who was going, this is insane, this is evil. But if I say something, they're going to accuse me. So we can get to that level. And the vestiges of that are still there. That's why That's why the constant refrain of the people have said right from the beginning, if you're supporting Lucy Letby's, well, if you are stating actually Lucy Letby's innocence, then there must be something wrong with you. Maybe you've got these proclivities to want to kill babies yourself. So it's there in essence. It's been handed down. It's not going to go away. But as to the organised nature of it, to make this set of events happen, to create this psychological operation, if that's what it is, with real victims and real families deceived and lied to, and then just they cast it basically, or it's self-cast, or they find the people, or they find the opportunity and it starts running, and then they jump on it once it gets going, and this is the one then. This is the story. Or we'll use this one now once it's going. And if that is the case, if they jumped on it, the dark powers, whomsoever they be, and if they jumped on it, it was at the point when the Cheshire police come back in. When the yoga guy, Yogi Wenham, no boo-boo, just Yogi Wenham, yoga master now, can put his leg right behind his head if he wants, He can lick his own balls, which is, handy. But that's when they jump in, and that's when the message gets across. Well, we're going for it now. Maybe they didn't know what it was going to be before, and they thought, well, no, this is the one. This is the one. And it's a worldwide. It's pulling. It's like a black hole pulling in all this energy. Whether you believe in that concept of the loosh, as it's called, all this pain, frustration, fear, consternation, anger, it's pulling in and generating all that. Maybe that's part of it, and that's the food. That's the food for these entities, or apparent human entities that are governing this, arranging it, ensuring it. I don't know. It sends you down some weird places in your mind, and I always want to kind of keep a foot on. It's not so much solid ground, but I just don't know what it is really in its totality. But it's wrong. It's all wrong. All of it. You don't have to know what it is to know it's all wrong. Back in the old witch times, would you have had to know? You would have had to been able to where we are now is like it's an inversion of what should be required. We've got to 100% rule out, discount all possibilities other than Lucy's innocence. So you've got to do impossible things almost and that's an inversion of the reasonable doubt principle, isn't it? So back in the old witch times, it would have been like, you've got to actively disprove this person as a witch. You've actually got to, but how do you do that? Same then as now. It's very easy for them to accuse and point the finger. They don't have to do anything other than accuse. That's essentially all it's been. That's all it's been. And then all this, just the facade, or the facade, the facade of all this. Oh, it's 10 months. 10 months of it. Do you know how much it cost? Do you know how many people worked on this? Do you know how many witness statements? There were thousands. And we talked to them. We had to build another house. Cheshire Police had to actually have this extra house built where they could run the operations from. The hospital had to pay £500,000 to some PR firm just to deal with this story. it's monstrous. It's just the obscenity of it is so. It's like it's filling the room. It's filling the room. It's filling your. If you if you're close to it psychically close to it, it fills all the space. It takes all the air out of the room. Got to have maybe a necessary distance to keep seeing it for what it is. Anyway, that's a bit of a. Oh dear. I'll tell you what. I'm watching these videos on Mark Vincente's channel about this cult that's run by a guy called Bentinho Massaro, and the sort of ex-adherents or people involved with it coming out now and talking to Mark Vincente about it. And Mark Vincente was deeply wrapped up in the Nexium cult in America with a guy called Ranieri started it quite a long time ago, and he's in prison now on a 120-year sentence. But this cult-like setup is a lot of the things that are emblematic about cult-like practices and the way they break people down and inverts reality, or invert justifications for behavior so that they project it onto someone else. So you can abuse someone and then it's like, oh, it's their problem that they've seen it's abuse. You see, it's their problem. Well, look at Jayaram talking about Lucy Letby's what he describes as an aggressive letter. He's saying the aggression's coming from her. Can you believe that's the perfect inversion of reality? I've said all that before, I know, but so this cult-like breaking down of people through psychopathic, always a psychopath of a sort in control of it, isn't it? It's got to be, a criminal essentially. But someone like Chief Constable Roberts is a criminal character. I don't care whether he hasn't got any crimes to his name. Him lying about that in every regard to David Davis's statement is that's a criminal mindset. That's a criminal essence. He is. Just so happens to be being paid to be on the apparent other side. And it's not the other side, actually, as we can see. Now and again, it could appear to be the other side, but if it doesn't need to be the other side, it will be the side of total injustice. Oh, they can all fuck off. It's just got to be brought down somehow, but I just think, I do want to believe, I've said it off and on many times, that this metaphysical power's got to be involved in this, helping people like Mark McDonald and the team, helping bring in people like Amanda Knox and helping Peter Elston create those brilliant videos that he's done recently about with the statistics and so forth, and so many others, and the analysis that Clara did today, and the work that Jenny's doing, and so many other people. I could go all day listing channels, commenters. It's just, you go on all day about it, can you? You could just, it's just, there's so many strands, and that's what's going to make it work in the end. There's so many strands. Oh God, I can't, Yellow Butterfly Group, 19 nurses, Jenny, OMF, it's international, people from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all over Europe, America, obviously, Ireland. It's just that, yeah, anyway, they've got to. Anyway, that's it. I run out of steam.